All right, cool, guys. So here we go. Let's set up a DJ setup. It's a basic setup. We have our rack right here. Blake, if you want to grab the other side of it, we're going to pick it up and just place it right on the table. We know that the back is the back because it has latches, and the front is the front because it has a slide out. Take that. So basically, we're going to take the top off. Take the top off by unscrewing these. Yep, you just unscrew them, and then they pull out like that. Yep. Yep, perfect. Go ahead and try that one. Turn it and lift out. And then you just lift up on it. All right, go ahead and walk around. We're going to set it down right next to it. And we're going to lift this up and put it right on top of this. It's okay. Go ahead and grab that handle. We'll move it right on down. All right, so a lot of inputs and outputs on the back of this thing. The biggest thing is obviously power. Power's got to get plugged in first. Power's going to get plugged in, and we're just going to ring it around. And then we have an auxiliary cord. Although an auxiliary cord is important for things like ceremony and for inputs on the board, we're not actually going to use one today. USB, perfect. That's what plugs into the laptop and connects the board. And we have another auxiliary that's already plugged into the board. That's the one that we're going to be using. Your microphone XLR. Speaking of XLRs, let's get some XLRs out. Where's the Adidas bag? All right, so we got 3 basic cords in this bag. And obviously this is just a conglomerate of cords. We have the world famous power bar, right? DJs use all different styles, all different types. Now, normally we would want to be as neat as possible. However, today we're going to put up a facade that's going to cover all the wires. So we want all the wires in the back. Even though it's going to look messy, doesn't matter. That beautiful white facade, we're going to put some uplights behind it. It's going to look real pretty at the end. You'll see the end result. All right, now this is important, so check this out. This is an XLR cord, and they have 3 prongs. 1, 2, 3, right? That's a male, and then 1, 2, 3, that's a female. They plug into each other. Now, in this case, we're gonna go out of the board and into the speaker so that the sound can flow. So let's go ahead and plug that into the board, right out of those master outputs right there. Perfect. So we're gonna untangle our cord because we want it to look beautiful. Okay, perfect. So this we're gonna just set on the table. Let's do the same thing for the other side. Grab one more XLR cord. Go ahead and plug that one in over there. And it only plugs in one way. You'll hear click. Yep, yep, and it doesn't come down because you have to push the knob on top. That's what's beautiful about the XLRs. They have a little knob on top, so once they plug in, you'll hear them click. You have to push on it in order to pull out of the board. Good, perfect. All right, let's put this over here, and let's get the speaker stand set up. You can leave it on the ground. It's okay, we're gonna tuck it underneath the table anyways. Again, neat cords are definitely a necessity. The issue is none today because we're gonna put a facade around it. All right, so here's the speaker stand. These are pretty heavy duty speaker stands. These are Ultimates. I really like these. There's all different kinds of speaker stands. There's so many different brand names of them. There's cheap ones, there's expensive ones. The biggest thing that we look for is how much weight that they can hold. And these can hold 150 pounds each. Blake, let's open these up and get them. So first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna take the top and you're just gonna lift it up. That's your adapter. The speaker is gonna fit right over that. The bottom, you're gonna unscrew it 2 or 3 times. Good. And the top, you're gonna unscrew 2 or 3 times. And then you're gonna take this by holding it and push forward and pull back. Great. So the biggest thing is that you wanna make sure is that you have not too wide and not too short. You want a good center of gravity so that your speaker doesn't fall over, especially if you're in like a windy atmosphere. Inside, it's not gonna matter that much. All right, and then you're gonna tighten the bottom. Go ahead and put this up on that side. All right, now check this out, right? Little trick I learned. I measure it to my nose, and that's where I tighten it. You can measure it however you want to do. The big thing is getting them even at the end. So go ahead, you want to give it a whirl? Go right to your nose. Keep going a little more. A little more. I think my nose is, yeah, right there. Let's go right there. Perfect. Go ahead, tighten it up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. And you want to push down on it, making sure that we're good. Great. We're ready to put some speaker stands on top. All right, let's go ahead with the speaker stands. Blake, you want to get on this side of the speaker? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, and lift. Now, if you feel underneath, you'll feel a hole. That hole's going to go right on it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. All right, here we go. Perfect. So now that we have a speaker up, let's go ahead and plug it in. So obviously we have that speaker cord, that XLR cable that's coming out of the mixer. That's going to go right in input 1. And again, with those 3 prongs, you can only go in one way. What's cool about these speakers is you can do 1/4 inch, or you can do, and you just heard it click in right there, and you have a push to take it out. Go ahead, you try. Beautiful, look at that. And for reference goal, I usually go to 2 o'clock. It's good to push your amps a little bit harder on the speakers. So that way you don't have to go up as high and mess with the gain, which really distorts the speakers. Better let those amps work a little harder. So 2 o'clock on the master, 2 o'clock on the input 1. All right, now, what else are we missing? Power. Power for the speaker. So, you need to grab a power cord. That's an extension cord. Power cord. Whoops. Now there's one similarity between a power cord and extension cord. They both have that beautiful 3-prong that you plug into the wall. However, the other end looks quite a bit different, and it even has a push button, correct. Go ahead and plug that in. It only goes in one way, just like the XLR. All right, ready? And away we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Let's get them plugged in. XLR first, followed by power cord second. 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Bam, just like that. All right, and then go ahead. Let's give it some juice. Now, obviously, it's not going to turn on yet because we do not have it plugged into the wall. So, last, certainly not least, we need to give it some juice. Now, normally we'd be using a shorter cord because we're this close to the wall. However, in this case, we're just working with what we have today in that beautiful Adidas bag that we packed full of miscellaneous cables to make sure that we had just a little bit of everything. Okay, again, let's plug it in. And we got power. It lit right up. Perfect. On this particular board, it's a Pioneer DDJ SZ2. And you have 2 mic inputs. We're obviously using an XLR, just like your speaker XLR. The mic XLR is similar. Blake, here we go. Let's take a mic. Go ahead. You want to plug that right in and do the honors? Other way. Yep. And it only fits in one way. So, all right, let's give it some juice. Perfect. So now we have a mic, and obviously we know it's on. As we turn it on, it goes green, and we got a beautiful check 1 2 1 2, and it lights up, so we know we have signal. We'll leave that right there. Let's take care of the laptop next. All right, perfect. So let's see, a couple important things that I keep in my laptop bag. I keep a pair of headphones, and I'm really particular. Nobody's allowed to use my headphones except for me. Next that I have a beautiful hard drive. This is my music library right here. And last but not least, I have for emergencies, I have a toggle switch, which is great for any and every adapter, USB-C connections that plug into those beautiful MacBook Pros. They're real great. This is like an $80 one, but it's got everything from HDMI, VGA, SD card, USB-C, USB 3.0. It's got everything you need in this one switch to one USB-C. And in this case, we're not going to need that today. Let's pull out the MacBook. We're going to plug it in to the power. We're going to plug it into the board, and we're going to plug it into the hard drive, and we'll give it a sound check. So from the board, we have a USB-C, plugs right into the side of the laptop. And then we have a hard drive, another USB-C, plugs right into the other side of the laptop. We know that we have power because it's orange, and on this particular MacBook model, orange means that it's charging. Now we can turn it on, and then we're going to turn on the board. Once the board turns on, you're going to wait. You're going to notice at the bottom of the software, it's going to say connecting to hardware. It takes a second. In this particular case, there's all kinds of updates available and everything else. I don't update this particular board. This board is old. It works great. I love this board. I'll never part with this board unless the price is right. And then you are good to go. Okay, so we're going to unplug it and we'll see what happens with it. Now, in most cases, you really want to shut it down or reject the gear properly, especially with the MacBooks. They have file systems, and if you mess the file system up and it's screwed, you could possibly have to reformat your whole hard drive, start all over. What a pain. So in this case, here's our board. We're going to plug it in, and if you take a look at the screen when we plug it in, a little orange button lights up at the bottom, a little status bar, not a button. A little update driver. Again, I don't update the drivers on this particular board because it's old and it's working great. And the whole interface change. You could see from the vinyl control, we can push some buttons, and the buttons correlate with what's going on. Now, we still don't have sound yet, but we can certainly give it a sound check. Before we do that, let's plug in the headphones, because any great DJ out there can mix with or without a computer screen. Old school learning on headphones, using it to beat match and do other things. Some DJs don't beat match. Some people cut and scratch. There's all different techniques to mixing music. It's completely up to you, and I don't judge whichever way you do, and there's no right or wrong. Some people hate on the others. Well, congratulations if you're that good and you have that much time that you can hate on somebody else. But my biggest thing is, if you are versatile, anything that can go wrong, you can always fix the problem. All right, your headphones plug in right here to the front. And if you play a song and press the Q button, you hear it coming out of the headphones. Great. Now let's give it some juice and make sure it's coming out of the speakers. Good stuff. All right, let's make it pretty and let's make it safe. All right, all those cords, all those extra cords, anything that could be a potential tripping hazard. You don't want somebody to walk by and unplug a cord in the middle of it. We got the good old-fashioned gap tape. I like the super thick, extra heavy duty, this Lockport tape. It's pretty cheap if you buy it in the bulk. You can get it for like $12 a roll on Amazon. And honestly, if you buy it in the bulk, you can get it even cheaper than that in different places. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough that nobody's gonna get hurt on it. I always tape the outlet to the wall, and that way it's a fail-safe, even if for some reason it does come up, or if there's some weirdo that comes back and unplugs your cords. This is just another fail-safe. Just take it, fold it down to the wall. Now you can get real crazy. Some of our guys tape the whole thing. That's really up to you. Again, I just want to make sure that it's safe, and I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. All right, let's set up the facade. There's all types of facades, and we have all kinds of booths. Again, this is a super basic one. It just clips in. We're only going to use 4 panels of it today. This one is a Pro X stage, and it's, in my opinion, pretty junky. It's about as cheap as they come. We've had a lot of problems with it. They break super easy. The good thing is it's a great price, and it comes in a pretty sturdy carry case. And the beautiful thing about this facade as well, not only is it cheap and pretty easy carry case, but these scrims come right off. You throw them in the washer if somebody spills a drink, which is a pretty common occurrence at a wedding. All right, you got clips over here on the back side, and just for today's purpose, I'm gonna show it to you, and then taking it down will let you do it. Tim, if you want to swing around this way, I can show you, show how the clips kind of fit in. Again, you could tell that this is a cheaper model because it's not exactly perfect, and clips don't necessarily work as great as they're supposed to. But basically, you just pinch them together, and you go underneath, and then you let go, and they snap right in. Pretty easy. And again, it's cheaper. It could possibly break, but it's sturdy enough for this. It definitely serves the purpose of protecting from spilled drinks, ugly cords, hiding your mess, and it's white, so you can stick a few uplights behind it and make it look beautiful. Let's grab a couple uplights and put them behind, and then we can make it all look beautiful. So these are no name brands, and we have so many different brand names of uplights. We have so many in the warehouse, and we bought expensive ones, we bought cheap ones before, we bought Chinese, we bought American. Honestly, all pretty much the same, with the exception of the company you're buying with it from. If you're going to get good ones, they'll probably take care of you really good. If you have a problem with it, they're going to cost you a lot more though. Customer service is a big part of cost in production. So as we turn it on, you have it's set to yellow right now, and that's perfectly fine with us. Yellow is not a problem, but because if we look around, you probably want them looking a different color, so we're just going to change the color real quick. Okay, perfect. So we did a pretty good job of matching up the color to look pretty much to what the rest of the room looks like. That's color 15. Close enough. Enter. I mean, there's some things that we can fine tune. You can wrap your cords around the speaker stand, make it a little prettier, but you get the general gist of what it started like, and obviously what it looks like. A beautiful facade, some uplighting. We could probably center it a little better, perfect it a little better. And of course, those are all things that we can work out, but it's gonna be a beautiful setup, and it didn't take more than 20, 25 minutes, especially if you have a helper with you. Man, it just flows and cuts the workload in half. And we're all set and we're good to go. Thanks, guys. See you on the flip side. It's time for the ceremony.